All right, so we are back, and we have our guests in the motherfucking building right now.
We do.
Now, I want to say that this dude has been around for a minute, putting in some fucking real work and real business in the hip hop game. You know what I'm saying? He's popular to a lot of fucking people, especially across Canada. You know what I'm saying? Because this motherfucker tours, and this is the difference between a lot of artists that we see that are bubbling in this whole new Toronto scene. There's a lot of people who are doing their thing on YouTube, but are they really getting out to the people? You know what I'm saying? And hitting the different cities. And this artist right here exemplifies that to the fucking max.
Not only touring with the people he's working with when he's touring.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The hip hop people he deals with in general.
Yeah.
The caliber of artists.
Yeah. Always on a high level. So with no further ado, we got Peter Jackson in a motherfucking building. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Respect.
And even speaking of like the high caliber artists and different things like that, right? You got collabs like with YG, Tory Lanez, Waka Flocka, and more, right? Mm-hmm. What's your favorite one?
Sizzla, Kalonji, probably for sure. Just based off the fact, and I mean I get asked that a lot, but based off the fact of like the relationship that we actually have, like it's nuts. And like my experience when I went to Jamaica is crazy. I think I've told this story to like Specs and like Sean, I don't know, Ching Ching and Sean Paul. I think I told them about it because they asked me how me and Sizzla got so tight.
Right.
And now I can speak about this because it's been so long.
Yeah.
So somebody hooked me up to get Sizzla on my Miss Right record. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell the whole story too. This is crazy.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, go for it.
So somebody hooked me up with Sizzla to do that record. So I paid from here, from Toronto, to do the record. I got the record back. I got a much fact for that record, and it was on radio.
Nice.
So when I got the much fact, my manager hit up Sizzla's people that we found.
Okay.
Sizzla's people were like, yo, call us. So we called them right away, and they were like, that's not Sizzla. And we were like, what? And bro, mind you, this record is playing all across the city at this point. And nobody knows this.
Right.
On like the radio stations, the DJs are playing it,
Everyone's
whatever.
running.
Everybody's playing the record.
Yeah.
They're saying it's not Sizzla. And we're like, bro, like it's listen to the record. He goes, no. It sounds like Sizzla, but he wouldn't say a woman tastes sweet.
X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
No, those exact words. He would not say she tastes sweet. We wouldn't do it. That's not him.
Right.
No, for
And
sure.
I'm like, yo, like I'm like 18 years old, bro. I'm like, my life's over. Like I'm thinking, people are gonna think I'm some white boy that bought a verse from this guy and I was just playing and whatever. So I'm like, yo, listen, like I just got a $25,000 grant for this record. Like, what am I gonna do? And they were like, come down to Jamaica, come to Kingston, meet Sizzla, explain what happened, and let's get this record redone.
Right.
I was like, what? They didn't ask me for no bread. They didn't ask me for nothing. I was like, amazing. So me, my manager, and two guys went down to Kingston, and I waited in Judgment Yard at one of his houses that had been burned down.
Okay.
That they all hung out at, and I met him. We vibed. He took me right to King Jammy's. We re-recorded, and we shot the video the next day. Wow. And nobody knew. And still to this day, nobody knows. Like I've told a few people I'm like the one. But now at this point, like Much Fact's gone. That's not gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
I mean, shout outs to the president of Bell Media. I spoke to him today, but I mean, that's not really like I did what I was supposed to do. I actually don't mean this in like a really bad way, but like, bro, I was
I feel my obligations.
Yeah, no, but I was terrified at the time. Like I was super terrified, and like the way it just worked out, and like he respected me because I still came. Because they were like, yo, where'd you get this? And I was like, yo, it's not really about that. Like, because the guy that I got it from didn't do it. He didn't even know. He still doesn't know. Now he knows. Like, he didn't know he did this.
Breaking news.
Like, no, really, though, they just didn't know. And,
that's crazy, the fact that you...
Bro, the record still plays.
Yeah.
People still play that version, and they just think there's two different versions.
Wow, and they're both Sizzla, basically.
No, well,
one's not.
And
one was an imposter from Baltimore who did the dub.
So the man
and I brought it to Sizzla, and like we cracked the whole thing. We figured it out. Yeah, it was crazy. But the guy who set it up for me didn't know this, and still doesn't know this.
He knows now.
Like they have dubs from Sizzla now that they probably use.
Wow,
it wasn't his fault though. I'm not like.
No, you're not.
I never even brought him into it. I never brought his name up once. I wouldn't.
To work out that
yeah, nah, he been good to me since then. Like real good. We still do business, but you know, it was just super scary at first, and like he took me to King Jammies and we recorded that. Then he put me on a record that was on an album called Scriptures, I think.
Okay.
And Scriptures came out, and I was on that record too. And then after that, it was like I started supporting. Like we sent me and Eyes from Parma Media sent 20 computers down to like a community college, and I do a lot of work with him and stuff. And I went and met his mother and stuff the last time on his birthday, and so we're super close. But that, like, I know it was a simple question that you asked, but like that's why I really like him. Like just the experience and how real it was. Like, yo, I put that man in a kind of awkward position, and like I was at his house for 2 hours without him with like 40 people. And like trying to explain the story to these guys of like why I was there and like what happened, and like, yo, I just need to make this right because like my career will be over. Yeah. Like that's how I felt.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's dope. Like, because even at the end, like the simple fact that you and your two brethren, or was it you and your two brethren, you said, right, flew out there.
My manager, the video director, and like the assistant.
So even a small group of people basically just flew out there on the strength that, yo, Sizzla's gonna give you this, do this.
We didn't know what he was gonna do at first.
We didn't know at first, but it was a misunderstanding, and you want to clear up this understanding, so you guys flew out there.
I needed to, bro.
For that simple fact, he gave, in his heart, he must have gave you ratings for that.
Yeah,
you know
what
I'm saying?
Yeah, he ate breakfast with like,
I'm gonna show up, and then don't show up or
no, they would have ate it and never said nothing to nobody. They would have gave back the grant.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, at that point I had got like one or two much facts, and like at that point, like if you didn't get a much fact, kids weren't shooting videos for $1,500.
No,
they were good. Now kids are shooting videos that are good for $500, but like there was a time where you needed that 25 plus 20
plus 25,000.
I never did that. Yeah, 25,000, but I never did like crazy. Like we spent like big budgets, but I never like Carl Wolf shot $80,000 videos.
Wow,
we ain't shooting no $80,000 videos.
Yeah,
but I shot $40,000 videos with the help of Much Fact and stuff. So I never wanted to mess that up. Like I was really like when I say terrified, I mean that. I thought I was really, messing my thing up, and he was just like we ate breakfast, just the two of us, and like 40 people would be like upset about it, but he was on some like really giving me game at that point because I given him something that like I think these guys were taking mad bread out of his mouth, and they figured it out.
Yeah, and what was a piece of game that, and you were 18 around this time, right?
I was exactly 18, yeah.
So meeting Sizzla around this time, and at this time Sizzla was already an accomplished artist doing a whole bunch of shit, right? What was a piece of game that he might have passed on to you around that time that you took with you?
The guy who named Sizzla and named like I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure he named Buju Banton and Bounty Killer and like a bunch of other people's names, Mr. Harris.
Yeah.
So we were out in front of King Jammies, and he asked me, he's like, "Why do you do this? Like, what's like you're not gonna win if you don't have a purpose.
Right.
Like, you really got to be doing this for a reason." I was like, I want to be the reason. Like, I want to be the reason everybody around me eats. Like, the reason my family eats. I want to help. I like doing charity shit. Like, I told them, like, I want to, sports teams, whatever. Like, I told them basically to help other people.
Right.
And they were like, we went in depth about it, but he showed me that I needed a purpose. And, like, I was super young at that time. Like, I just started cracking with the business stuff. So,
yeah.
Like, they showed me what I needed to do.
And what made you start rapping in the first place?
It was honestly like a Mobilarity by Raekwon. When I would like play his album when I was young, I would like rap over the breaks. There's like 30-second breaks and 45-second beat breaks.
Yeah.
But I just it was the only thing I was good at. It was the only thing I was ambitious about. Like at all. And I was like, really, I sound good. I know I'm a good rapper, but like, the business is first and foremost with this stuff. Yeah. It was back then too, but I just really enjoyed it, and I really love it. Like, I really work like 23 and a half hours a day to get 30 minutes on stage.
Yeah.
You do put a lot of work in, though.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've seen a lot of work.
Yeah. 23 hours a day to put 30 minutes on stage.
That's the title.
Right.
23 and a half.
23 and a half hours a day to put 30 minutes in on stage.
That's the title, sorry.
I'm sitting over here just outing all these.
That's the title for this episode.
You
just name the episode.
Like with the Mobilarity, right? That's Raekwon's third album, no, that's the second album.
Yeah, second, I think. I believe. Right? But it was the first one.
Why Mobilarity and not Only Built for Cuban Links?
No, I'm just saying. Honestly, that's just. I just remember that was the record, and it's like number 9 on that album. I had like speakers in my room, and I would like rap like it was a microphone. And then my sister bought me studio time when I was 16, and I recorded where Sum 41 was recording their first record.
Okay.
So I thought it was on. Like, I'm from
it.
Ajax. They're from Ajax.
That's it.
My sister fucked with them. I'm good. Like,
Yeah,
I thought at
yeah.
16 I had it. So, and like they were around.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were around. So, you know, that was really like it for me to start. And then I was like pushing CDs when I was 16.
What was the first time where you started seeing traction?
The first show I ever did was in Peterborough, and I bussed like about 400 people from Ajax to Peterborough. So that was like the first time I noticed it was a business.
Right.
But like actual traction, touring, like actual monetary change, touring.
What was the first tour?
Never Say Never tour with Classified, Joe Budden,
Wow.
D12, and Royce the 5'9".
Yeah, give me that one. Yeah. All I need's a flute beat and 2 sheets of loose leaf to move me. A 2-piece on Toonie Tuesday, and I'm groovy.
Wow.
Joey was my boy too. He don't like me.
No?
Nah, Joey don't like me.
Tell me a Joe Budden story.
I can't.
Let's keep that quiet.
Me and Dame's tour with him. Joe Budden was my favorite rapper. Joe don't like me though.
You know that?
Why not?
Those guys, you gotta understand. Some of these guys in the industry have known me since I was like 17, selling tours and really cracking tours off. And it was me, but I was the rapper, but I was a kid, and so you're growing up with me.
Yeah.
Like the Locks, like Sheik and those guys have been through. I'm the only person that's ever brought those guys here. Jada came now with Frontline.
Yeah,
and,
I can vouch for that.
and there is people that have run the shows when I brought them.
Right.
And like that Jada show and Fab show is crazy. That's like the best hip hop show you could do right now.
Yeah.
Just shout out to Chairman for that, because that's
what was it, On My Grind track.
yeah. We had like a bunch. We had like a
On
New
My-
York freestyle.
Yeah.
Those guys. Sheik was the first person who called me when my daughter was born. Like those guys are like Sheik's a friend. So like when I was saying like these guys watched me grow up. Like Joe Budden and them had to deal with me when I was 17-year-old Peter Jackson. Like
Okay.
we didn't give a fuck about who we were on tour with. Like
Yeah, you're just doing.
we're
Your
just
shit.
like
Yeah.
we were just learning as we were going. Like I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So you know those guys have had to grow up with
Nothing wrong
us.
that.
Nah,
Wow.
but so I mean, like, you know, he's like, fuck, you know,
Yeah, for
he's got me
sure.
blocked on Twitter. Like, I know he's got me
Deep down-
blocked on Twitter.
deep
He's
down,
got you in the block
Yeah, I
squad?
know he's got me blocked on
But
Twitter,
deep down,
but
he
it's
probably
not.
still likes you.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't
No, you
like
don't
me.
think so
No,
at
I know
all?
he doesn't like me. If my other DJ, like my best friend Dames Nellis from Virgin Radio,
Yeah.
he was my first DJ. So he liked Dames. He
Yeah.
don't like me.
Okay.
He like
Okay.
Dames. He don't like me.
Hey, whatever. It's
I don't care.
whatever. It's a business.
I'm not booking Joe Budden at this point in his life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not-
he retired
we
anyway.
had a dope record together and shit. He was my favorite rapper when I was young, bro.
Yeah.
And then I met him, and he's not my favorite rapper. And I
Sometimes they say you don't want to
anything
meet your
by that
heroes.
other than
Yeah.
exactly
That's what it
that.
is. Sometimes the people that you know you look up to or
You
whatever,
don't wanna
they're
meet
just-
them.
You don't want to meet them because their attitude corrupts what you had thought of them.
Bro, I would every spliff.
Now, even
My
with
bad.
like all these memories that you have from like now
Like this
to the early 2000s, what's your favorite memory that you have from those times, or from the early 2000s times specifically?
Like my favorite what? Like just,
Memories, like your favorite memory.
Um,
Like you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this right now.
probably Jada Kiss tour.
Okay.
Like the first time we brought him, because it was so much work, and it was a big transition for me at that time. Like me and my manager had just split, who was like actually the booking agent that I learned everything from.
Okay.
So like when we split, it was like right at the time I was running the Jada Kiss tour on my own,
Right.
and that's when I got with my new manager and partner now.
Okay.
Because she stepped in to just pretty much save me and save the tour. But like he was my favorite rapper growing up, so you know being able to tour with him and shit was super dope. And
Yeah.
you know, just for me, just being able to take care of like home and like actually wake up and do this shit,
Yeah.
and like do it good, and like have, you know, other businesses and stuff that run off of this is, to me, I'm just happy with that kind of stuff, bro.
Right. And like even like you mentioned, you have a new manager. Your old manager, is that Chris McKee was your old manager?
Yeah.
Okay, so like how did that relationship start?
I bought a show, and he came and saw it and saw what I was doing and said I had something, and he basically was like, yo, lock down that market, and I'll fuck with you and I'll help you. I like your music. I think we can do something.
Right.
But before that, I had won a competition to get a deal with Blueprint Agency that he owned, but he didn't know about the competition. So he knew my name and shit. Like, we knew each other, and he had seen a lot of shit that I had done.
Right.
Okay.
But when it came to that actual opportunity, it was like he ended up putting me across Canada on tour.
Nice.
And that's how everything started. Like, he taught me the booking. He helped me with all that. He was, you know, it was a hard, like, when we split, because we were, like, really good friends. So it was really fucked up when we split. But, you know, now I'm, like, older and shit, and, like, I realized, like, he did a lot for me. And I never speak on that shit, like, at all. But I'm super grateful because he really helped me a lot.
Well, you know, I be doing my research, so I be popping names out of that.
He's doing good. I don't think he's mad at me anymore. He can't be mad at me.
No, you guys had a really, like, a symbiotic relationship going on. You know what I'm saying?
He taught me everything, bro.
He
taught me a lot of shit. And my new manager now, Valerie Schneider, she's my business, like, she's my music partner. She's a partner in the booking agency that we own. Okay. And then my business manager as well is another guy. And he's more on, like, the straight business side, like, not even music. He's a partner in the booking agency and stuff too. Okay. But she taught me, like, she's unbelievable. Like, she's really, like, the person behind me that gets everything you're seeing being done. Like, you know, Swollen Members tour, Mad Child's tour, Fetty Wap's tour, Nelly's tour, Akon's tour, T.I.'s tour. Like, that's my company, but she's the one. Like, people don't even... You know, people don't even know that stuff. Like, that I own, you know, international touring agency, and, like, we're responsible for 80% of the tours that are coming into the country at this point. Hip hop. I mean, that might be a little high. It might be ambitious of me.
No, I think you're around that number.
No. It's not even about that. Like, it just might be wrong.
I don't think you're wrong, dog. I think you're around that number. Between 70 to 80%.
And I'm not, you know, like, I got Swollen Members just announced 36 shows. And like, what I'm saying is, I've got a bunch of good people. It's not just me. It's not Now Nickel anymore. Like, Now Nickel is more like my promotion company, my label. It's still my, you know, but it's not the booking stuff no more. Like, that's why, like, you don't see, unless I'm on the tour, I still post about it and shit. I still posted the Swollen Members tour and stuff like that because I still have invested interest in it. A lot of invested interest in it. Like, Nino Nickel manages Mad Child as an artist, and that's something new too. But Nino Nickel manages Mad Child. International touring agency is Swollen Members booking agency. Nice. So a lot of stuff intertwines now at this time too, right?
Yeah, and even from before, it was Nino Nickel. Did you guys have Savy signed to Nino Nickel?
Yeah, she whip it like she for Bogota. Holy God, holy club, rolling that OG Goldilocks.
I distributed his record for him. Helped him out with, like, putting his record out and trying to get him into the grant systems. Okay. We just didn't really follow through with it, either of us. Like, we were still moving, but we just, you know, didn't really stay on it as much as we should have, pushing music-wise together and shit. But we talk all the time. He's super dope.
Okay, dope.
So you see, earlier when you said Nelly, what I thought it was with the Bizz logo.
That's the first time me and him met.
That's the first time you guys met?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, no, he's a love.
He showed me mad love. Yeah, he showed me mad love. I told him the first time.
That video just started going around and him meeting Nelly, and it was like
it went viral.
Yeah. So that was your show. You put that on.
Yeah, it was my company. It was at the music hall in Oshawa. Okay. So that's the club.
You in the video.
Yeah. No, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one who introduced it to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, Nelly, this is Bizz Low, a big artist from Toronto," and he's like, "Yo, I just came in here to show you love." Like, he literally, like, the video is funny.
Yeah,
the video is funny.
The video's messed up.
But it's because nobody around knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's why. Were they caught off guard?
He came down the stairs from the green room. I'm the one who said, "Yo, this is." I don't know. Maybe it just looked funnier, but like they both showed each other love.
No,
like,
it was. You can tell it was love. It's just like you said, the internet does.
The internet twisted it. Yeah, I didn't really take it as a bad thing when I saw.
No, it's not a bad thing. No, I'm not referring to it to be a bad thing.
He showed mad love to Bizz, and Bizz showed him mad love.
Yeah. And free Bizz low.
Yeah, it is real shit right now. Real talk.
How is it working with KRS-One?
Oh, man, that was so long ago. That was a great, it was good. He's really smart. Like he was at like Zay's house, one of the artists that I started Now Nickel with.
Okay.
And before the show, and he like literally talked for like 3 hours.
Nice.
And like just like really educated, you know. I mean, I watch a lot of his videos and shit too, but I also brought him to Durham College that day.
Mm-hmm.
So the same day as the show, he did it for free too.
Wow.
He just spoke to everybody. Like I literally was like, hey bro, I set up because it was for promo. I could promo in the college about the show. So I was like, hey, I set up an interview for you to just talk to the students in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like,
wow.
Sick.
Really dope.
Alexa from KRS-One. Wow.
Yeah.
He's just really smart.
He's super
like about everything.
Yeah.
He knows a lot.
Yeah, I would have loved
passionate about it.
I would have loved to have been there straight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie Down production, like yo, come on, man. Yeah, like I definitely have to. Oh.
That's a pioneer right there.
Yeah.
And even like you were talking about D Block earlier, right? How did that relationship start with D Block, bro?
I was on tour with Ghostface.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghostface brought Sheik. And Sheik saw my set like one of the nights or something. He was like, yo, come play me some records.
Yeah.
Come upstairs, play me some records when we get back to the hotel or whatever.
Right.
So I played him some records and shit. We did a record like pretty much like right away. And then we just kind of just clicked. Like those guys are good to me. Like I went to Yonkers. Well, I stayed in like Manhattan, but went to Yonkers like 2 or 3 nights we were there and just like recorded, shot videos. Sick. He introduced me to Kiss and Styles in Yonkers.
Nice.
Because I wanted to do a Canadian tour with all of them, and they were like, nobody can get Styles in Canada, and I told them I could. Like I know how to do this, like better than like a lot of people. Like I got the plug.
Right.
How to do things properly with immigration, and the proper people that can do it. And basically they're like, all right, cool. So then I brought Sheik and him back after that. So him and Sheik came and toured Canada together. Styles P got him for his first time, and the two of them toured together.
Right.
And then after that, I brought Kiss, and then after that, I brought the Locks, and in between that, I brought Sheik and Styles a bunch of times, and we just kind of got along really well.
Yeah.
Built a relationship.
Yeah, and just kept doing business. Plus, they're like that's like my favorite.
Yeah, but you follow through on what you said. So yo, I can get the man them across the border.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck with me. I'll get you, man. I'll get you. Yo, fuck with me, and I'll get you cross.
Yeah.
And the man them put faith in you, and you follow through. So
a lot of people like that.
It only makes sense for them to be like, yo, this man.
Yeah, they show me mad love.
Something.
Like me and Styles been in like where I used to have a studio in like one of my best friend's houses. And like I literally just rented the basement, nice studio, and me and him being there till like 3 a.m. just drinking after a show and just recording. He'd just give me verses. Like they're about their business. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody's about their business, but like they were really good to me. Like I really like those guys. Like they're just cool guys. Like 3 dudes that have been together that long in this type of business.
For sure, through ups and downs.
You know they're good people.
For sure.
Lefts and rights and U-turns and all types of fuckery in the business. Yeah, man.
And even like you're saying, like you were on tour with Ghostface, like you're on a lot of different tours, right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of like younger cats who don't really know that experience, I said this in the beginning of the interview. We have a lot of guys who are getting to really high heights as far as YouTube stardom.
Yeah,
right?
but even more than that. But yeah.
And more than that, right?
Definitely.
But there's only a few that are actually touring, right? So what's your craziest tour memory?
I'm married and shit.
Boo boo.
I'm super kidding. I actually am.
That was a good answer. That was funny.
Honestly, probably the weather, bro.
Okay.
That people don't realize about Canada. Like the weather is nuts.
Yeah.
Like there's times like I was on tour with Naughty by Nature. We were in we were in Winnipeg, and Tretch was like, "Yo, when we get back to Toronto, I'm gonna do a record with you. I fuck with you. Like you've been good this tour. Like you listen. Like I was a puppy."
Right.
And he was like, when we get to Toronto, we're gonna do something. Bro, we hit Thunder Bay and like everything's closed down because the snow is bigger than you've ever seen in your life.
Wow.
And I'm in like an Astro van with 2 of my guys. Like we weren't, so like
you weren't prepared.
Nah, and on the Tech 9 tour, we flipped our SUV 6 times.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And we had one of those stupid camping fucking things on top of the SUV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it saved it from caving in.
Wow.
Flipped 6 times. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
So it's like the weather, bro. That's like for me on tour, like that's the worst.
Yeah. It's Trust me, I know what you mean. I had a small tour experience with Moko Only and Decisive.
Yeah.
And we're going all through BC. And the fucking mountains were crazy. You're going around the mountains and
that shit, yeah, super
snow,
scary.
and the roads are super small.
Like snowstorms in September.
Yeah. And the trucks are coming the other way, and you're just going around the side of a mountain. I'm like, we're going to die.
Yeah.
We're going to die.
I'm good for now.
Okay.
Let me smoke on this one here. Wu-Tang Clan. 20th anniversary.
Oh,
you had all of them, except RZA.
Except RZA, yeah.
But pretty much the rest of the 8 members, minus ODB, rest in peace ODB, we're here.
Yeah.
How did you pull that off, man?
A lot of help. That's like, I keep explaining it to people because we're doing a Wu-Tang show right now that we're putting together.
Yeah.
That just got, like it's done. And it's like booking 9 shows in one night.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of good people, a lot of mistakes, you know, get made. But the Toronto show, that show was crazy.
Yeah.
I did that with Illish Music and some of his people. Mm-hmm. And he's a good friend of mine too. And that shit was a lot of work for everybody.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Like, all of them are coming to Toronto.
You said 9 shows, right? So do you have to like talk to 9 different managers and stuff like that?
Not 9 different managers.
This is the venues.
But now you really dealing with probably 4 managers, 5 managers. Maybe you're just talking to an agent. Mm-hmm. But if you know everybody, then you're talking to 4 managers, 2 brothers, 9 artists. You know what I mean? An agent, maybe a tour manager.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of people. It's a lot of people, and it's a lot of individuals. It's a group, and it's a whole, but it's still 9 different entities.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work, but it's really, honestly, it's worth it. And I'm not even saying it just based off of the live show, like it's what it does for other people, and what it does. It's worth it. It's big.
People's experience, Wu-Tang Clan, all of the members except for the whatever, like that's still big.
Yeah, that was a crazy fucking show.
And then Kitchener, we just did it with them like about a week ago. It was Cabin Media and our media, Robbie G's company. Okay. I never know how to pronounce his company's name, but Robbie G and Cabin Media and myself, they did Kitchener, and the only member that wasn't there was Meth. He had a scheduling issue.
Okay.
So that was the first time I seen RZA with all of them, and I was like, wow, it's something. Like he's, I don't really like bump his music and shit, or never really did, but to see him live and like to understand the magnitude of what it really is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, he really is that. Like when you speak about him, they speak about him like that. So
the Abbott, like,
he's on some shit.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. And
like with all the shows that you do, how do you prepare for a stage show? Because, and before you answer that, a lot of guys these days are rapping over their tracks. They're not even just, you have a hype man, you have breath control, like you're doing a show.
He's not allowed to do
I'm not allowed to do that. Like my actual like business manager, like literally will like look at me like, what, like, why are you wasting our time? Like you're wasting everybody's time right now if you're gonna do that. Like they don't want that from me, and I don't think that like that comes from not knowing the records. I mean, I've done it. I'm saying this is I've done it. Or maybe I'm halfway through a tour and you're like, yo, I'm dead tonight, play my records. But I'm usually doing TV mixes. So like the hooks are in there.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of features too. So I'm talking about a lot of times hooks weren't even mine. Right. So a lot of times hooks, but like, nah, not on the verses. Or if they're like freestyles over other people's beats, just backups maybe.
You need to repeat what you said at the beginning. You don't waste our time, because that's what people are doing right now. They're thinking they're showing you a stage show. So please, like let them know that you're wasting our time when you do that.
Yeah, but you need like the hooks and shit.
No, you need
that's okay.
Like, you need a good DJ.
We're saying about just playing the track and just rapping over the track.
Yeah, you need a good DJ.
Like you're not lip syncing. I'm saying like some guys are literally lip syncing, bro.
No,
and just
what I'm saying. And it's not even only that. I want to know is how do you prepare for like a fucking 40-minute show, that kind of length, right?
Good for now.
Because most artists are doing most up and coming artists are doing 15 minutes.
I kind of take flack for that too. Like if I'm doing solo joints or something. Like where I'm headlining the event and it's like a ticketed event, then I'm really at this point only doing a 30-minute set.
Well, how do you prepare for that?
Rehearsal and speaking to my DJ, or like at least going through the order of the records, and then before tour going to the club that I run out of and doing rehearsals.
Okay.
You know, and,
checks and stuff
yeah,
like that.
just rehearsing. You know, and I mean, Tech Nine's a perfect example. Like, and I'm nowhere near the like technically the way he is. Like, it's like his choreographing, even just for a rapper, is insane. Because it's not dancing, but he's choreographed like everything down to like the way he holds the mic at what part of the stage, or the way him and Chris Calico turn at the exact same time, or you know, something like that. So I gotta pay more attention myself. Like, I can't sit here and say like how to do the best stage show. I mean, I tour a lot and I got a good stage show for sure. I'm good with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, super good with the crowd. And I'm at this point in Canada super recognizable, so it's like it's a little bit easier for me at this point, but I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm trying to watch other people's YouTube videos and shit too. I watch everything. Like, I'm paying attention to what everybody else is doing too.
You're a student of the game.
So, what crowds do you prefer, American versus Canadian?
What?
Like a Canadian crowd versus an American crowd. What do you think?
I fucked up on my paperwork.
Oh, so you only strictly Canadian tours?
No, I haven't toured the U.S. Okay. I've performed in the U.S., but I haven't done I was supposed to do a 65 city tour with Riff, and I put my paperwork in too late with Christmas, so I wouldn't have had my work permit. I could have gone, and then nothing would have happened. Like, they probably wouldn't have even asked what I was doing. Like, it wouldn't have even been an issue, but we were trying to do it the proper way, and we were just like, you know what, we're not going to rush this. Yeah. So it wasn't even like I just didn't go. Like, you know.
So so I guess that doesn't.
I mishandled it, but I've done like other shows, other places and shit, in the Caribbean and stuff like that.
So even in the Caribbean, what do you like? The crowd here versus the crowd in the West?
Every crowd is different.
Yeah.
Every crowd. Calgary Stampede with 50 Cent was the best crowd I'd ever seen in my life. It was like the coolest, like, people, like, everybody was just cool as shit.
Yeah.
That was a good crowd.
There's a question I've asked a few other like I've asked other like white rappers, right? Do you ever get white rapper pushback?
Yeah, Macedonia.
Macedonia. Yeah. Yeah, like, when I first started, I was getting it from both sides for sure. From everybody, like, definitely. But I mean, that's anything. I don't pay, like, I don't know, I don't pay attention to that stuff. It doesn't bother me. I really try. I know it's super real for everybody. Like, I just literally had this conversation with an Asian person the other day, because something happened and they were like super offended, and I was like, yo, listen, that was horrible. Like, it's super real, but like, I personally don't like to even focus on like negative shit like that. So I mean, if people got something to say about me like that, I'm like, all right, wicked. Like, I didn't hear it. You're really not gonna catch my attention with some stuff like that.
Yeah. So my last question, okay? For like the whole 2018, you got a whole bunch of things that you already had bubbling, right? What's your 2018 into 2019 looking like?
A lot of tours. There's a lot of tours coming. I got a single out right now that I just dropped with Sean Kingston. Okay. Called What It Feels Like. So I'm about to go shoot that video. And like, my whole focus right now is radio in Canada, like, specifically. Excuse me. So like CHR radio. Okay. Top 40 and stuff. So that's really like my focus at this point. Because like, what On a Wave did for me compared to like all the records that I love that I've done, are like records that I can just tour on, or whatever the people know. That, like, monetary wise, was the biggest thing I'd done. So, and I like that record was like exactly who I am. Like, that record is, you know, who I am. So I'm kind of gonna move and just stick to that.
Dope. So I want to hold you for a minute for something we have called our Smoke and Mirror segment. Okay.